to make a presentation of the great transformational plan to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's go. This One King Multimedia. My name is King Show. You can call me the General. This King's Corner, Cuckoo's Natives. Today, before we start, let's respect the nation, the country called Ghana. Before I start, remember the national anthem. Before we go ahead for today's story. So if you are ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, I'm not over this One King Multimedia. As we heard, about the national anthem in the area. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Oh, you're true, Nyankopon in share, yeah, man, Ghana. Nyankopon on tones to power be in yeah, man, Ghana. Though today it's an interesting story, Medreba, because why the moon come share no wabim, moon come share no and a wabim, because some time ago I was saying there, why can't this political parties put their differences aside and come together to work for the benefit of the nation of the country called Ghana? Why can't these politicians forget about their selfish interest and come together as one? MOB cracker, you know what? Why you say if they claim they care about the country, Mahama your president, Baumia your vice president, MPP the next 4 years now MPP so be a president and this a vice president. The next 4 years now another party, people were bringing sort of ideas though. But so what's in there? The country's interest is what all of you guys are for. Then I think coming together is the best thing to do in this political arena. So before I do, I recommend Alan Cash, Alan Kojo Kyerematen,
Let's have it.
After friend top party are some that you can. So let's go straight to the point. Alan Kojo Kyerematen, after the election, the figures didn't do well for him. People did not vote for him. The way we were expecting there, he was going to be the third force because he came from NPP, and we all were thinking there obey a big problem for MPP, even though MPP lost, but it had really nothing to do with Afafranto, because the figures were not really impressive to say there, because Afafranto sweep this number into the MPP win. But let's go straight to the point. After the election, Alan Kojo Kyerematen and any team were visited, President-elect John Dramani Mahama. They paid a courtesy call to our president-elect. Now, when they went, propose, some things that he's saying there, he is here to help, because Nankasa Krampo Eshe, previous past president, Honorable John Ajekum Kufuor, the governance now, Ono Kojo Kyerematen, he was a very instrumental person in that governance, that most of the policies are Kufuor implementing, 70% of that policy came from him. And then Kufuor can never stand anywhere to deny that fact. In there are so many policies. He has the interest of the nation Ghana at heart. In Ghana in so many ways, and then he is still ready and available to extend that help to President-elect John Dramani Mahama. Now, Okoshiano, these were some of the things, these were some of the things he told President-elect that he will wish that he would take into consideration these policies, which he know they will be beneficial to Ghana.
And so, with a great transformational plan, I very respectfully like to recommend a number of priorities for your consideration.
And that's what to need in the Great Transformation Plan, the Great Transformation Plan, Agenda for Transformation.
To make a presentation of the Great Transformational Plan to you. Yes.
Thank you.
And the first one, he talked about President-elect John Dramani Mahama paying much attention to stabilizing the microeconomy.
And so, with a great transformational plan, I very respectfully like to recommend a number of priorities for your consideration, which is stabilizing the macroeconomy. I know that because of our manifesto promises, there's a lot of pressure. Everything is important, but I feel that it's the macroeconomy and the economy as a whole that basically must occupy your highest consideration. So
if you really don't know about the microeconomy, to know to the layman, just the basics. So microeconomy, or your actions taken by individuals, in business or small economic units to maintain consistent level of production, pricing, and profitability. Inti nasi chene de say on try to stabilize the microeconomy in a way that Ghana channel what to petrol kakrebia to no pricing we cannot even maintain a stability pricing, and people are outrageous profit and all that. But on Manabokoda, the government should have a cap. Say before we're able to be Mukrano, it has to be, reasonable and approved. Because it be a Ghana that some time ago, when business people were selling outrageous and all that, it's about time we go back to that. Go be what to dollar make a crebiano be asianable, what to petrol make a crebiana asia, this is what is killing our economy. So he's saying there he will advise His Excellency John Dramani Mahama there on pay much attention to stabilizing the microeconomy. And this is a great news though. For me, I think, we are in the right direction. If all our political, parties or people put their differences aside and come together for the benefit of the country, we cannot rule this country like the Westerners. They are doing very well. If they are fighting, we cannot say we also want to fight each other. So the first point, Alan Cash, Odema, John Dramani Mahama, it is brilliant, and I support that, because if we are able to stabilize the microeconomy, things will be better. And then he went again to talk about, improving industry, agriculture, and tourism.
Along with this, also, I would say a prioritization of the productive sectors of our economy: industry, agriculture, and then tourism. Because that speaks to the next most critical agenda for our nation, which is creating employment, particularly for the youth.
Us industrialization agriculture and tourism, because on man be agriculture or one of the things we have to take on Chalibia when they did the survey and everything. The Ghana, we import over 6 million worth of 10 tomatoes. Tomatoes, we have been importing, and it's a shame. It's a shame. They know. Oh, so he also suggested industrialization, agriculture, and tourism, boosting. And tourism and creative acts, the way it can help a country, that is not how Ghana we did the year of return. The money and the things that came out of it, I say we don't even know. Hey, we couldn't capitalize on this thing to make Ghana a better place. We couldn't. But the second point to Mahama from the great transformational plan, agenda for transformation, he will plead that he takes industrialization, agriculture, and tourism seriously. And the next point he outlined was corruption.
Now, beyond this, also, I think, is the issue of corruption, which you've spoken about, and which robs us as a country of so much resources that we can channel into development.
We all know a lot of things. Sometimes it's not from the president too. Sometimes it's from the people the president appoints. Sometimes it's not from the president too. I always say this. I said sometimes there are some crimes and corruptions going on in the basic roots one. Even the president don't know. Or Jubilee House where he's not even aware. That is why some time ago, may his soul rest in peace, our former president John Evans Atamos Okopoto, and he was surprised.
I'm really upset, and I think that I should let you know. I was waiting for the Anas video to be shown, and that confirmed the reports that I've been having all along. Officers of customs, you are Ghanaian citizens. You have to help us to build a better Ghana. But if this is the kind of behavior, this is the kind of attitude that you have, you are not helping us in any way. Indeed, today, I came to express my disgust and my revulsion at the way some of you are helping to erode the benefits that we are making or we have to give to our people. You are in charge of revenue. Every day we hear reports about malpractices. People collecting bribes with careless abandon. People who think that they are entitled to take bribes. How can we get rid of corruption?
Ope won a surprise visit and he saw so many things that was going on. A lot of corruptions that was going on over there. And sometimes on your president, corruption is from the people the president appoints. The third point was corruption. Also, then His Excellency, whilst you have taken over, yes, Rawada, pay attention to the corruption going on in this, in this country, and make Yenfo being here scapegoat. Yenfo being here example. Yenfo being here. Nature for the one year. They also may see him, but this is what we did to him. So we wouldn't even bother to do it. So the third point is also brilliant. And then again, I'll say Ada Odana Komado, something that he really wished for in Kotumbeyo Mampenina. One of the things that he would have, channel all his energy into. I say, I'm channel all my energy into. I said, hey, that was gonna be the constitutional reform.
The next is constitutional reform. Constitutional reform that would enhance the quality of governance in our country. And I'm sure you're already aware of many of those areas that require reform.
The constitutional reform. I said since 1992, our constitution needs amendment. I say it has to be taken out or added to the constitution. Because it looks like the constitution favors some group of people who can translate it. Into also His Excellency, we be dia konyo we dia me stress the constitutional reform no be for me. And Mahama said that it's something that he also looking out for because in his time, previously he started, but a month forbidden when in the court na day, and the time the court was over, the time I saw there, him. That's why he wasn't able to do it. But this time of year, we make sure that the constitutional reform, he will work and do something about it. Until that was also accepted from the Great Transformational Plan, Agenda for Transformation from Alpha Frontoman, Alan Cash, and before I go on, this is a great news for our country. Eh? You don't know how happy I am. Actually, my background, I have Ghana flag in my background. You have no idea how happy I am because anything that I see that brings the country together, anything that I see that bring political parties together, aside their differences, now and they come together. This things actually I become very happy because I will lie. I can tell nobody love Ghana that I do. Nobody. Hey, if you don't understand, you can argue with your keyboard, another with your phone. Some of us we love Ghana. So anything that we see that is for the benefit of the country, So the constitutional reform is a great move, and I'll be very happy if President-elect John Dramani Mahama will also take that into consideration, but not reforming the constitution to suit himself. Man, call your constitution into the state there, you can go 4 more years, making it 8 years old. Man, cause it's a constitution, to benefit you and your party. Do that in the interest of the country called Ghana. Do that, for the interest of the country called Ghana. Man, cause the constitution, man, change things in the constitution just to benefit you, your family, and the party. No, none of the young children, the youth. We are now vibrant like never before. The youth of this nation. I say yes, and the young children, the youth of this nation. So far as you guys are doing the right thing, we will talk about it. And if you guys do the wrong thing to and then he also proposed the Galam issues going on that,
And last but not the least is the issue of Galam, which obviously is an essential threat. It's not just a question of those living in Galam communities.
His Excellency, Galam is destroying our water. Some small group of people, political powers they are using Galam to destroy our waters. It's in Kebeya. Once you become the president, we will suggest that we will just plead with you to solve this Galam issue. That was the next thing Alan Kyerematen also told John Dramani Mahama when he paid a courtesy call to congratulate him after the election, and then also proposed the agenda for transformation, great transformational plan, policies, to him. And finally, he said he hoped that he can help, that is John Dramani Mahama, the president-elect, can help build peaceful, united, and prosperous country, irrespective of their political and religious affiliation. I was in there, young Kambum, and let's make Ghana a very peaceful and united country to be. And he will always be there. When he will come. That is what he told him. He said he was always going to be there, just like he supported John Ajekum Kufuor. He will be there. If they need his services, he will be there 24/7.
Physically express what you had already done by phone. We spoke on the phone and you extended your congratulations, but I think this follow-up with members of your team is significant, and we appreciate it very much. A lot of thought went into this document, so we'll look at it, we'll borrow from it, we'll steal from it, we'll copy from it. Whatever is positive here, we're going to take and add to the reset agenda and you can be sure that we'll give you credit for whatever we've taken out of it. But I think our ideas are the same.
We want Chada to come out too. Kwame Bediako Chada, we want you also to come out and then bring some policies, suggest to the government one funny who there, you know, we they don't have any vision for the country. We want all these political parties to come together and then, you know, let's have a national agenda. Let's have a national agenda. Let's have a national agenda. That's what we all hoping for. And see, Chada come out. Also, Bawumia, we know you lost, but if you have the nation's interest at heart, you will also come out. Let's support. You change the face of this election, eh? Let's change the face of this election, and Ghana will never be the same. Ghana will never be the same. So, King's Corner, this was a quick warm-up, and Kuku's natives, we are getting somewhere. Ghana, we are getting somewhere. We need leaders who will put their selfish interest aside. And we foresee that coming, eh? We see these things happening. This is One King Multimedia. My name is King Show. You can call me the General. I'll be your general. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so that you can get a notification anytime we post or we upload a video. But until then, I say, cool. Let's go.